Hello everyone and welcome to this second class in character design. My name is Pino Negrete and I am here to talk to you a little bit about detailing. Yes, I know, you were missing details, you were tired of those triangles, circles and squares that I used the past week, but it's gonna worth it, trust me right now, okay? If you haven't seen my previous lesson, it's on the description box below because everything I'm gonna talk to you a little bit in this class is related to the first lesson, so you want to be able to keep up with us. Alright, so first point, silhouette as an idea. What am I talking about? Past week I talked to you about designing characters with basic shapes, okay, doing silhouettes with basic shapes. That is, I think, a pretty neat exercise because you get to understand silhouette, you get to think about silhouette. But people really confused goal with paths. What am I talking about? When you say I'm gonna go to supermarket, you don't simply confuse yourself with the road and the supermarket. You know that they are two different things. And that's precisely what I'm talking about. Goal and paths are two totally different things. Goal is what you want to create, okay? Be it a girl, salaryman, dragon, whatever, okay? You want to have a goal. And the path is the basic shape. The silhouette is just a tool to get to your desired goal. This is very important and very overlooked because I see many people say I'm gonna design a character with triangles and they will start plotting a triangle here and then another triangle here, put a smiley face on here, some hands, and call it a character design. Yay! Well, this is a character, technically speaking, but I wasn't talking about that. Okay, you're confusing goals with tools. The tool is the triangle and the goal is the character. You're just stacking things, just stacking triangles upon each other. This is very common. Please avoid this. Okay? You want to use the tools, which are silhouette, graphical design, shape design, contrast, everything to reinforce your goal. Second point, you're gonna hate me for this. I'm telling the truth. You're gonna hate me. Absolutely. Because when you're designing, most of the time you don't draw the silhouette. This is a truth that if you talk to any character designer, he will tell you the same. Most of the time you don't start with a silhouette. You think about the silhouette, and this is the important part, because the exercises I'm telling you to do aren't pointless. They are trying to give you to the right mindset, okay? So that you can think about the silhouette before even placing a line on the paper. Many people actually was kind of concerned about how I used white in my silhouettes, and that's totally understandable because that's not a silhouette. In fact, in the moment you use white, it's no longer a silhouette. It's called rough sketching, and this is the subject for today: rough sketching. So, what's rough sketching? Rough sketching is the initial phase of a character design. It's where you plot out the main details, okay, the main features of your character. For example, if I were to draw Mickey Mouse, I would draw a circle here. This is a tool. The circle is a tool. It's a basic shape, remember? Now I draw another circle here, still just using basic shapes, just using tools to give the image of a mouse. But now I want to create the basic features because these are just three balls and these aren't big. Okay, so I would start adding some volumes here. I don't really remember how Mickey Mouse is, sorry. So yeah, something like this, okay? So yeah, things like that, okay? It's not the best Mickey in the world, but you get the point. It's rough sketching is about going to the major details, creating the character itself, not just the silhouette to get the point. It's the character itself. Okay? Very, very important stuff. Please pay much more attention from now on this subject that I'm going to talk about you next minutes. So, my process of character design starts always with a rough sketch. I get my goal, which is what I want to create. In this case, let's say I want to create a salaryman. And this salaryman is my goal. Now, I want a tool which is a shape which describes what my character is like. I want a very edgy character for this salaryman, so I might go with triangles or squares, because circles aren't particularly edgy. So circles are a no. I want to create it with a square or a triangle. And you know what? I wanna create it with a square because I already created things with a triangle. So yeah. So squares. So I start plotting out with my basic square. Okay, here's my head. That's it. Now that's not my goal. That's the tool. I have my square. Now I want to reinforce my goal by adding some major details. Say these are the ears, now we know this is head. Now I go back to my tool, which is the square, and I plot out something more. For example here, another square, and this is the body. Now I reinforce my goal by adding details such as the armpits, necktie, major feature. Now again to my tool, I go back and start drawing the arms. Now go start drawing the sleeves to make sure that you understand these are the arms. Now again tool and go, and here we have a little salaryman. It's very basic. I know it's not a fancy character design, but it's already more detailed than simply the silhouette. Why is this so important to know? Basically because a character is more than its silhouette. As much as humans, you can recognize someone because the way he stands, the way he moves, the color of his skin, I know how long is his hair, how tall he is, short, the way of clothing he uses. That's the same with character design. You want to create more than the silhouette, but always remember that the tool, which is our little square right here, is always gonna be one very important stuff in our character design, because once we finish our little rough sketch, we want to make sure that the silhouette is good, and that's where the previous exercises come into place. You need to understand that those exercises were made for you to think about the silhouette. So now that I have my salaryman, I know that I did it right. I can see a square, right here. Okay, you can see it's very squared off. You can see squares and straight angles all over the place. This is what I was talking about. So basically, character design is about two simple steps. Number one, select your goal. The most important part of character design is having a purpose to it, because your characters need something to do. Needs to be someone to be believable. And number two is selecting your tools, which are shape, um, shape, silhouette, psychology, shape design, contrast, color, whatever it is. I will cover all those in later lessons. Right now I'm talking about rough sketching and thumbnail sketching, like it's called most often. Now, back to the first lesson, I talked to you about a concept that is that character design is not wildly creative. Um, this is especially true when you're actually designing, because you get to see that you need your goal and you need to set yourself boundaries to say, well, I want to draw. If I want to draw a superhero, I won't draw a mermaid. I will draw a superhero. That's your boundaries, and this comes a lot. This concept of it's not wildly creative when we talk about references. I'm literally mind blown at how many people hate references and even call them cheating. I mean, if you don't know how to draw something, you need to be able to see the stuff. I mean, it's like a portrait, it's not cheating. It's just that you don't know that person too well to draw it from memory, so you simply go to your reference and that's it. And this is very important. When you design, you want to have reference. When I was working, again, bring back the examples from the previous lesson, when I was working on mine dudes, I had to see how a hard hat was because I didn't know. So I had to look at some hard hats, know how they were made and how they were shaped, and then I started drawing hard hats. So there's nothing wrong in reference. It's actually better to have reference because you won't screw up your design. Okay, many people draw idealized items and props and even persons because they don't know how to draw them and they just draw what they remember. And this is very important too in character design. And I just want to give this a little bit of a space before ending this episode because it's very important. When you design, you want to set your goal and gather enough resources to know how to approach that goal. Another thing I want to talk about is about having a specific process, a plan of action ahead of time. When I'm sketching and I'm designing, I never know how to start. I always follow the same process. Because if I were without that process, I wouldn't know where to start, what to do with my design. And many people have a conflict with this because they think that art is totally creative and that no one can tell you how or what to do. And that's true. There's no good or bad method for a drawing. But it's good to have a method, a set plan of action that you will always follow no matter the subject to have quality designs. Because once you get used to that method, you can tweak with it, adapt it, or simply throw it out the window because you already know how to do stuff. So, if you think I am being overly proud of my own methods, it's not like that. I'm trying to get yourself to think of a method. I'm not worried. I don't have any problem if you don't follow me. I'm just trying to make you improve. And yeah, I'm just a little bit concerned about that you understand what my intentions are. It's not that I think that you're wrong if you don't do it my way. It's that I think you need a process before you can create your own. You need to walk before you run. It's pretty much what I want to talk to you about today in this class. Sorry this was even shorter than the previous one, but it's because it's kinda like a retell. I'm retelling you this first class with different words and a different point of view because this is gonna be a big change. Next 2 weeks I will be covering all about psychology in contrast, and probably a little bit of color. So I'm not very sure if I will be able to in just 4 weeks, but I will of course do a lesson on it and upload it to YouTube in case I don't have enough time on the 4-week challenge I'm making. Now, assignments for today are gonna be very easy, straight to the point. I want you to do at least, I don't know, 20 rough sketching. I know it sounds like a lot of work, but I really need you to focus this time. Send me work in progress if you want. I need you to really focus this time on goals. Have rough sketches that you have a purpose for. Okay? 20 for next Monday. I probably have my next class Monday as usual because I had some troubles this time, but yeah, next Monday I will have next class uploaded covering psychology and how to implement shape theory in clothing. So yeah, that's gonna be an exciting one. So yeah, pretty much what I want to talk to you about. Yeah, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, put it on the comments section below. Placed it on my DeviantArt page, which is also in the description box. And yeah, thanks for watching.